This is Joe Crispin, former Penn State and professional basketball player. You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
I think you said that he could have gotten more separation.
There were some technique fundamentals in receiver that weren't perfect in the 80s. I had to throw in a few points of criticism.
What was it like playing in March Madness? I mean, we have it going on right now.
But playing it was amazing. I mean, that's kind of your whole goal is to just be a part of that. It's such a special thing where the whole country is tuning in and anything is really possible,
You know, my optimistic side said, like I said, that we're going to be okay. We just had a bad game. We're probably experimenting a little bit, ran into a good team. So.
If Miami came to our house, we would probably, if anything, win. We wouldn't get blown out.
When you first started playing football, did you always want to play in college?
No, I was growing up. I was a big baseball guy. Loved baseball. And then 8th grade, I remember I got a call from my uncle, Coach Nagel. He's like, hey, I got the job. And I was just like, all right, I'll play football for you.
You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. It's as honest and as raw as sports talk can be. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
Hey, everybody, this is Greg Garrity.
So Anthony Lottie will punt it away from the 41. Greg Garrity is the deep man for Penn State at the 10-yard line.
Former Penn State receiver and 2016 Big Ten champion. You're listening to the best Penn State Nittany Lion podcast, the Mark Lesko Podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome back into another episode of the Mark Lesko Podcast. Joined by Jared Miller and Brett once again. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So happy to be on tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. Big win, obviously. That was a really gutsy performance. I mean, no matter what, USC still stand on it that they're better than their record, but they're also not that good of a team. But on the road, what we did, that was a really, really good win. Yeah, so that was a crazy game, man. I mean, Brett,
unbelievable.
What do you think?
Unbelievable game. Tale of two halves. That's really what it comes down to in this game, and a lot of games that we play. But the first half, I was contemplating on why I'm not on blood pressure medication, and might want to take a look at that. I mean, it's just some small mistakes on offense. Overall, the offense wasn't even that bad in the first half. The defense was just bad, like very bad. Like I'm talking missed tackling, missing gaps, getting pushed around by an awful offensive line by USC, which, I mean, at least the tape says that. So I don't know what exactly happened. They schemed it up well against us. We got to give them credit, but not sure what Tom Allen was doing. Head scratcher in the first half for sure. Got to finish drives with touchdowns, man. That's what it's been coming down to for us. 2 field goals in the first half is not going to cut it. The play calling gets conservative once it gets to the red zone. That's why I'm a big fan of the big play, because then you don't have to go to the red zone, and look at run, we have to pass type stuff. So second half started out on fire. We got the ball, went down the field. Tyler Warren decided to be a center for a play. I didn't even know what was happening. He was on the left side of the line. Snaps the ball to Bo. Bo passes it to Drew. Drew has plenty of time to set his feet, and Tyler Warren mosses some dude in the end zone like he naturally would do because he's a superhuman, and caught it with one hand, his left hand. So, just unreal play. After that happened, I was like, we're in the game, dude. We're down 7 points. This is it. Defense needs to step up, and the defense stepped up. They went, I think USC had a first down or two, and then they went 3 and out. We get the ball back. I think that's what happened. Yeah, we got the ball back. Did we kick a field goal the next drive, or was it a touchdown again? I think we tied it up with a touchdown. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened, but after that Tyler Warren touchdown, it was off to the races. Other receivers were getting involved. Julian Fleming redeemed himself. At first, we were like, the first ball that was thrown to Julian Fleming in the first half was a fastball, a little bit high, so I wasn't mad about that missed reception. But then that one, when it was right to him, and he was shaking his head afterwards. He was like, what am I doing? And then Drew Aller with ice in his veins, 4th and 7, I think, and 4th and 10. I'm talking just gutsy, man. Throws it to Julian Fleming on both of those. Julian Fleming was barely open. He still, the throw was there and the catch was there. Just unbelievable. And that one play, I think the 4th and 10, Drew was about to get sacked. I thought he was going to. I was like, oh my God, here's the game. He just moves over, like he just was slippery back there. Moved over and just dotted it right in there. And I was like,
I don't know how he got away from that guy.
Yeah, I don't understand it because he's not fast. He's faster than we think, but he's not fast. And after that second, 4th down completion, hope started to go through my veins, and I was like, I think we can win this game, man. And then USC got the ball back with a lot of time, and I was like, I don't like this. And USC really lost the game. It's their fault it went to overtime. They didn't call any timeouts. They let the clock go down. James Franklin called a timeout. Must have saw something he didn't like from USC. Changed the defense up. Interception. Jalen Reed runs it probably 30 yards back to the 50-yard line. And, man, just incredible performance. This is the first game we've seen Drew needing to win it for us, and we can believe in him now. Now there are some issues. Not all running game's fault, but I think Nick Singleton's still injured. He did not look right. Even the touchdown catch, he caught it, and he was like stumbling his way to the end zone. You can tell he wasn't himself. Luckily, he was wide open, so he had plenty of time to get there. But run blocking was bad. Pass blocking was mediocre. But the good news, we have 2 weeks to get rest and prepare for Wisconsin. By the way, Wisconsin bulldozed Rutgers today, so that's interesting. So Wisconsin's getting better, so that's not what we wanted. But at the same time, it makes us look better if we can go down there and win in a away game in Wisconsin. So that's what I got to start off. Good game.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jared.
Well, first off, I think we do have to give the defense some crap because for the first time in the whole season, in the third quarter, they let up 3 points. And we got to give them crap for that. 3 points, guys. What is that? That's nonsense. I'm disgusted beyond belief. I hope Franklin is giving them. No, this is all joking aside. It was a great second half. Dude, for my entire life existence, I think I've always known Penn State to be a second half team, and oh my goodness, was that the case today? What was that? First quarter, it was like Ken Jeong showed up to play football, and then in the second half, Dwayne Johnson showed up. Like that's kind of what it looked like from the tale of two halves. Like you have this scrawny-looking little dude that no one knew about, just getting mauled left and right defensively. Now, in our defense, what was that trick play for them? Was it a 75-yard run? The dude just found a hole and just went. If you take that one huge play away, the defense, gave up some big plays here and there in the first half, but that really was kind of like the momentum for them going forward. Yeah. What is that dude's name, the running back?
That was their second string guy. So Woody Marks is their first string guy. The guy who did the touchdown, number 0, I forget his name. Tyson something? Here, let's look it up.
It's Woody Marks and Quentin Joyner.
Oh, dude, that guy made our entire defense look mediocre. Like that was not a good thing to witness. A lot of great guys. Like I understand that. You can have a great game, and sometimes you're not all at your best, but it's still the whole game is the whole game. I always say, in baseball, if you're down by 4 runs, you can still win it in the 9th. Like in football, I'd like to think it's basically 2 scores. Like 10, 14 points like we were, you can come back from that. Many teams have had great comebacks. So when I saw it was 20-6, I basically gave us about a 5 to 10% chance of winning this football game. And I knew we were getting the ball in the second half. When they opened it up, I'm like, okay, I need points. I don't care if it is another field goal. I just need another scoring drive. And then you witnessed not one great touchdown drive, but you witnessed 2 great touchdown drives. That play with Tyler Warren in the end zone was something to behold. I mean, I was like, you guys, when you bring out the bag of tricks, I mean, sometimes it's the best thing in the world. And I was so pleased to witness Tyler Warren, basically the new president of Penn State, just do what he is doing. He is becoming not only the most effective player in the Big Ten. I'm not giving him college football, but certainly in the Big Ten. But he is right now making it the case that he could be the next Travis Kelce in the NFL. I'm giving him that much of an accolade right now. He is becoming elite in terms of his position, how he conducts himself, and everyone follows suit. He is showing really great leadership. And then, of course, you have Carter on the other side kind of being that for the defense because, again, in the locker room, I'm sure Carter was basically, what the are you all doing? We got to get moving here. We got to do something. We can't just show this kind of performance now, especially halfway through the season. So, I mean, it was collectively one of the more mentally adjusted games I've ever seen from James Franklin and company. I mean, I'm not giving it all to the coaching staff, but you saw the adjustments. They really stepped up their game in that second half. They kept pushing and made it as tough as it could, and it was obviously paying off because going into overtime, you had this idea that, yes, it is still USC. It's on the road. How can they find a way? And they kind of took advantage of what they were given. I mean, all the plays that USC called, Lincoln Riley with all of his great minded, with offense and plays and schemes, like, he showed it all in the first half, but we started to pick things up in the second half. And by the overtime, we had all of their plays kind of figured out. And then when they had the 45-yard kick, it was wide. Oh my goodness. We're like, we have a shot now. All we need to do is get that dude in position. Brian Barker, the new name, the unsung hero of the game. What was it? 4 field goals? 4 field goals for the dude. That's a pretty darn good welcome to the crew kind of thing. Did you see what he did? Did anyone see what he did after that game? When that football went up in the air and he kicked it, I just saw this. He literally told them to go to sleep. He was like, it's good night. Thank you for showing. I'm happy we are all going home with a victory.
Can you guys see this? Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
This play, dude. It's unbelievable.
It's unreal. It's going to be on Sports Center top 10. It should be number 1.
Right.
It's insane.
I'm just saying, dude.
Look at that catch. That's insane.
The catch is crazy.
It is. It's a thing of beauty, dude.
And it was
we're witnessing.
Yeah, Jared, the kicking too. Yeah, that was great.
4 for 4, man. Long of 45 or 44 to ice it, man. Insane.
Go ahead, Jared.
Just in the end, we had everything going our way by the time it got to the overtime because everything was showing. Like, we had the defense show up. We had Barker do what he did. And again, it was a collective adjustment for the whole team. Like, I remember what I put on Facebook. I said, like, thank you, James Franklin, for not messing this one up because he just let these guys go and do what they can do. And it was awesome. Drew Aller, again, we're not even discussing that. I mean, dude had a salacious game. I was so happy to finally see this version of Drew Aller. I've been waiting and waiting for at least 2 years to watch that man look like that. And now that I see it, I'm not saying I expect anything less, but if the time comes, maybe this will be what Ohio State will be looking forward to.
And by the way, that game right now is an instant classic as well. Ohio State's up 31-29 right now with 3 minutes and 18 seconds. And Oregon is 1st and 10 and Ohio State's 26. Oh, my gosh. That's crazy.
I never thought I'd say these words. I really hope Ohio State pulls this out.
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, like my kind of, and I'm watching Ohio State also, but
game's crazy.
First of all, like, that was definitely a gutsy win. Drew Aller was a magician. I mean,
holding. Yep.
Unbelievable plays. He's a very good quarterback. The players won this game, man. They won this game, and I said it at the beginning of the year. This is one of the best teams in the country, and they proved that today because they pulled this out. Now, I said at my halftime show, that was pass interference. I said at my halftime show that if they didn't win this game, man, like I don't know if we're ever going to take that step with as much talent as we have. If we didn't win today, man, like when are we going to win that big game? But you know, we pulled it out. We got so lucky on 2 of those 4th downs. I mean, unbelievable by Julian Fleming. I messaged
and Aller, both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, his pass was like you had to throw laser right there at that particular spot. You had that much of a hole. Yeah. It was unbelievable.
He wasn't open, really. I mean, he just dotted it in there. It was insane.
And on that, I think it was the first 4th down conversion. There was pass interference on Fleming for sure. They could have called it against USC, but they didn't. I think they didn't because he caught it. But you know, I said to the group after he dropped that pass, Fleming, I said Fleming officially sucks because what has he done up until this point? And then, man, those 2 conversions he had, those were only 2 catches, and they couldn't have been.
He did
better,
save our season. He did save our season.
Yeah, they couldn't have been better, more clutch catches. But like that one that Aller did where he's running away, the guy ran right to his face and he got around him somehow. Like, how does that happen? I mean, I don't know how he did that.
We'll see it again on these highlights here. So,
but and then at the end, they showed the USC kicker 3 for 3, and I said
he's making it. I knew he was. I thought he was going to make it,
and then he missed it, and I'm like, you. Oh my goodness, it was that
was him. I mean, I'm going to send him a gift basket, man.
What are the odds of that, man? That he just like the way he kicked it too, he like chipped it up there, and it. I don't know what he did, but
he was completely down the middle, the 3 for 3. Like I'm talking perfectly in the middle. I'm like, there's no way this guy's missing it, and he did it.
Yeah, and then our kicker, we said at the end of the Illinois game, it's literally the thumbnail. We need a new kicker. We got him, and Franklin at the end, he like was talking, and then he started talking about the kicker because he came up.
He was crying.
And he started crying, and then he like walked away because he's a walk on. I mean, that was he
saved our season. I mean,
he's a Pennsylvania native. Did you know?
Yeah, and that other kicker that we had, I don't even remember his name, and I don't want to. He's
Xander
the number 1 kicker in his class, dude.
Xander Sajeda.
Yeah, he's the number 1 kicker in his class. That's insane, man.
Yeah.
But Aller just had an unbelievable gutsy game, and
oh boy.
Now I don't know about Ohio State, dude. I mean, we got lucky. We did. Either way, we won. No matter how it happened, we won. But yeah, I just if we can finish games like this, like we did today, because this is a huge. It really is. It's a huge. This team beat LSU, man. Okay. I don't know if we're beating Ole Miss right now, but
wait the 4th downs. 4th and 7. Here it is. 4th and 7 to Fleming. Huge. Tight coverage, and 4th and 10's coming up here soon.
Yeah. So we just beat a team that beat LSU, man. Like how did that happen?
I mean, I don't know how you do that. That's incredible.
Insane, man.
Oh, you know the play before that? The play before that 4th and 10. It was 3rd and 10. Drew threw to his guy, and that USC guy almost picked him off. He had it fully in his hand, and he was coming down. It just kind of bobbled out. I mean, I was like, wow, to think that we were 1 play away from having that go the other way.
What's crazy, too, about that last conversion was not only, first of all, that one right there was that was an amazing catch.
The dot.
But the other one, okay, so if they get hit there, there's 340 something left. If he gets sacked there's 340 something left. The game's not over, but they all they had to do was kick a field goal and it'd pretty much be over, USC. So the fact that they converted that and then they went down and scored, and like this play was just I had no idea he had that much room there. That was a crazy. But yeah,
he has the entire half the field to himself.
Was Singleton sick or what's going on with him?
I don't know, man.
Is he still hurt?
I think he's probably actually injured, is what I'm thinking, because he didn't look right. I mean, look at the way he was running there, like wobbling, like it didn't look right, man.
Like
he
had loose shoes on.
Something, man.
But yeah. So it was just overall, man, like because I honestly thought at halftime, I'm like, I don't think we're gonna win this game. I said that. I said I don't think we're gonna win. So,
dude, 3rd and goal on Ohio State's 2. Oregon has the ball. Minute 55 left. They're down 3. If they score a touchdown here, it's up to Ohio State to win.
Imagine. Okay, so if Oregon wins, they're gonna be probably number 1 for sure. And then we're probably maybe we might,
3 so probably.
Compare the wins, right? And I'm not jumping the gun. I don't really care who wins this game, but say Ohio State.
Oh,
loses,
I do.
Okay?
I do. I really want Ohio State to win this game because the higher ranking they are, if we beat them at home, that's going to put us at number 1. That really will help us.
Well, it doesn't really matter if we're number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. I mean, dude, if we end up being number 1, like I don't know how. I don't think we should be number 1. Like,
well,
no.
But it's that kind of thing where it's like, if you're the janitor at the building and you kind of sit at the big boss's desk, you put your feet up on the desk for just that one set. I mean, that's the thing about it. If you're just, that might be the case. I mean, yeah, we might not be number 1, but just for just a week. It would be nice to kind of sit in the chair for just a little bit. I mean, just to know what it'd be like again. I mean, there's no one that's a guarantee.
Well,
there's no one that's really a guarantee. Ohio State has had some up and downs this whole season. They haven't looked that consistent. I mean, Texas with their schedule, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of questions in the top 5 for sure.
We won today as a number 4 team, which usually Penn State chokes when they're ranked that high. So,
yep.
But
listen, I compared this game to the 2016 Iowa game when we went into that hostile territory and we had to win that game to be relevant.
2017 when the walk-off with Juwan Johnson.
Oh, was that 2017? Shoot. Okay. Yeah, the 2017 game. Yeah, that was like one of the most important road wins I can honestly remember up until this point. Because that's the thing. You're going into a place that you historically have never been successful. You've had your issues. And it's that team that it's like you're haunted by. So, yeah, this was one of the more important wins for a guy like Franklin. Because, again, we constantly question how he is going to go through an entire game to fully get these guys ready to make sure that they actually look like they could be number 2 or number 1. Like, that's what we're looking at, dude. I mean, we've been talking for how many years that it's like, are we ever going to be in the national championship conversation? It would just be so nice to say we are doing everything right. And it's like nothing is screwing us up. And I feel like between coaching and injuries and whatever, the scheduling, timing and everything, like, it's just amazing how we constantly are in a position to always be in the moment and it never works out. This time, it actually went this way. So as far as I'm concerned, we have every opportunity to be at number 2 or number 1.
Yeah, I mean, that might happen. That doesn't mean we deserve it, though. I mean, we'll find out against Ohio State. We're literally an Ohio State loss away from being an 8 seed and getting knocked out in the first or second round. So I'm still there. This is a great win, but first of all, Oregon, they just didn't score, so they're going to lose.
They kicked the field goal.
They kicked the field goal.
They're going to lose. So
they need it down there.
Let's say Ohio State wins or loses, okay? If Ohio State loses, Oregon's going to be number 1, and I think we should be number 2 because our win this weekend was way better than what Texas did, even though Oklahoma's ranked. People
who aren't casuals, as Josh Pate likes to say, there's casuals and then there's realists. People who aren't casuals are knowing that USC at their house is not an easy win, man. No. USC's better than their record. They were 11th last week. They had a bad game against Minnesota. It happens. They played their butts off today, and we just played harder in the second half, so we won. But yeah, only the Instagram trolls of people who don't like Penn State or the people who are going to say Penn State's trash and not a top 4 team. Dude, look at what happened to Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, everybody last week. So, we won the game. So saying we're trash doesn't really make any sense. So thank you.
First of all, at the end of the day, we won that game. And
without running the ball, we won.
And here's what they would have said if we lost. They'd been like, Penn State's trash. They're overrated. And we won. So that makes no sense as to why you'd say we're trash. We just won.
We had over 500 yards.
Had a 224-yard game.
Yep. We had over 500 yards offense. That's insane.
Tyler Warren right there, man. That's unbelievable.
It's an unbelievable stat line, dude. Give him the presidency.
I mean, here's the thing, dude. Because in the past, we've had weapons against Ohio State. And I'm just bringing this up randomly. I know we still got Wisconsin, and that's, we'll see how that goes. But, it'll be interesting to see what we do, because we did a lot on offense today. We did so much random stuff, and they're executing it well. And to do it on the road, first play of overtime, Bo Pribula was our quarterback. So it's Ohio State, as good as they are, and again, we'll see what they do right now, but I don't know how they're gonna do against us. So it's just interesting. Stupid Stuff said number 1 Texas. All right, so you think Texas will be number 1?
They beat a crappy Oklahoma team today, but yeah, I mean, Oklahoma was ranked for some odd reason. They're a terrible team, but yeah, they're not good.
Well, 34-3. I mean, against a ranked opponent. I mean, I don't care who you are. That's still going to be they took care of business completely.
Texas being number 1 makes sense. Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, so far they haven't really played anybody but Oklahoma. Michigan's terrible. They can't complete a forward pass. So.
If they're number 1, if they're not number 1, they should be number 2.
So, Stupid Stuff. Who do you think should be what's your top? Well, I guess we'll wait here a couple minutes, but who do you think should be the whatever?
Well, they're on 37 of Oregon. I mean,
I guess it's hard. It's hard to do a top 5 right now because games are still going. And Tennessee. Fun fact, guys. Tennessee just slipped by Florida in overtime.
Okay. Well,
just be a bad Florida team.
I've been wrong about them. I thought they were going to be the best. I thought they were going to absolutely I thought they would go on somewhat of a 2019 LSU run where they just dominate everybody.
Of course.
It doesn't mean they're going to win a national title, but I just thought they were that good.
Just had a big play for Ohio State. What a surprise.
I mean, if you think about it, man, that 2019 LSU team might be the best team of all time. I mean, honestly, they're up there.
They're really good.
They were, and Ed Orgeron was gone a year later. He's in a poll with some blonde chick, it wasn't his wife, I don't think. I mean, just we had Joe Burrow. He was literally his first year there, I'm pretty sure. That was it. Yeah.
Hey, dude, timeout for me personally. I'm losing battery, bud. I'll be right back.
All right. Yep, you're good. Sorry, I'm moving stuff around. But
no, you're good.
Yeah, and then you had Jamar Chase. Who else was on that team? That team was ridiculous how good they were.
Yeah, they had just Jamar Chase. What's his name?
Wasn't Justin Jefferson on that team too?
Yeah. Yeah, that's who I was about to say, and then I contemplated for a second.
And then Will Howard. They beat a stacked Georgia team too.
Yeah.
But overall, it was just a really, really solid win. I just I don't know going forward, how it's going to play out, man. I mean, I really don't know what to think about this win other than it was a gutsy win, gutsy performance. We pulled it out. We did get lucky, but I don't know if Penn State's legitimate to the point where they're going to beat Ohio State, or if this was just.
It's going to be tough. I mean, we have time to figure it out. We have, like I said, the good news is we have 2 weeks to get healthy again and work on the fundamentals and clean some stuff up, man, because offensive line play and defensive, I mean, some stuff to clean up for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
man,
tackling.
Just what they did, especially on those 4th down conversions. I mean,
that's we never do that. We never do that, ever.
I mean, that's pure just preparation. They've done it a million times. This team, like, especially with what they're doing with Bo and Warren, like, just randomly bringing them in like, important situations. Like, clearly, like, they've been practicing this stuff. I mean, if that makes sense, like, they're very comfortable with what they're doing.
Yeah. 100%.
It's pretty crazy. Like, I don't know how they're that prepared, because how long have they been practicing with this guy? Since, like, what, January, February? That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they came out with some new plays today, obviously. And we all knew that play was coming. No, maybe not Tyler Warren snapping the ball, but Bo throwing it to Drew. We knew that was happening at some point, and they pulled it out at the perfect time, the best time you could possibly pull it out. So
USC didn't know what to do.
No, they had no clue.
Dude,
I mean,
if you look at the close-up of that play, let's say you look at the close-up of that play, Tyler Warren comes down with that ball. That ball is almost practically stripped, and he still was maneuvering in midair, coming that ball down. So he was covered pretty darn well, too. This was not like a gimme, like, where did it come from? He was wide open. He still had to come down with that ball, and he was beast. He's just an absolute stud. So in the end, what you're looking at is, again, 2 teams that, I think that USC is much, much better than their record. And again, that is one of the most hostile environments, and you have to know how to figure out a way to win. And we did. That was so important. Oh my goodness.
You guys will not believe what just happened.
4th and 25.
How did they lose 20 yards?
There's a flag. Oh, wait, there's a flag. There's a flag.
It's 3rd and 25 on the 43. 3rd and 25 with 10 seconds. They might not even get a field goal off, man, to win. 4th and 25
right now.
It says 4th on Google. I don't have the game.
Oh, look, it's on Oregon. It's on Oregon. Illegal substitution.
Oh, no. That's going to lose in the game. It would have been game. That's for field goal. They would have been at the 43.
Right, man. Like,
here comes Ryan Day. Yep.
That Oregon is, like, going to win, if somehow there's some insider trading going on.
Dude.
Illegal substitution. Wow.
Well, that puts them at the 38. That's a 55-yard field goal. That's doable.
Dude, they have
I don't care if you're a college kicker.
Ohio State kickers. Remember the Georgia game a couple years ago? I don't know. We'll see.
12 people in the
oh, my God. He's going for – oh, my God. What are you doing?
What happened?
Oh, my God. They did. They lost.
Ohio State.
Oh, my God. Ohio State just lost.
How?
Oh, my God. The quarterback ran with the ball, and he slid down, and it was at 0.
Oh, my God.
Dude's beside himself. He is like...
Why did he do that?
He literally ran the ball with 5 seconds left.
Why wouldn't they
oh, my God.
Too far?
No, they were too far, dude. Way too far.
I mean, that's pretty far, yeah.
They were like 60, 70 yards away.
Oh, my God. They're going to lose.
Still, I'd rather you try to go for it in that regard.
You know what's sad about that? Oregon's going to lose like probably 1 or 2 games. They're not legit at all. And then Ohio State, they're probably gonna they can still beat us. So, man, if we beat Ohio State, dude, like, I mean, even though they just lost, like, if we beat Ohio State, that just totally solidifies us.
I can't believe they just lost.
I just cannot believe it. I'm in total shock. I mean, again, it's at Oregon, but
Well, what's the like?
These games
you
are
guys
crazy.
Want to play an undefeated Ohio State?
They are.
Huh?
What's that, bud?
You guys want to play an undefeated Ohio State?
I mean, they're still going to be ranked in the top 10.
Well, what does it matter if they lose now and what does it matter?
Yeah,
it's just been that really
world. And it's always a good day. Like, it's a good Saturday night that we won and they lost at the same time. Like, we hate them. Right?
Right, we do.
If you look at the top four right now, I think Oregon will definitely be 1. I think we'll be 2, and then Texas will be 3. I mean, we have a better win than Texas.
It's wild.
We'll go to 3.
What happened to the Ole Miss
game? Be a 3, but I think we should be 2. But it doesn't matter.
Ole Miss you by 4. That's crazy. No, it's still going.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm glad Ohio State lost. Screw Ohio State. I don't want them to win.
Yeah. So LSU is down by 4, and there's a whole quarter left. So we'll see.
I mean, you guys? So you guys wanted Ohio State to win. Like, what's the main reason why you wanted them to win?
The only reason I wanted them
just to make it the highest ranked for this
when they come to the house. But other than that, yeah. I mean, they're still going to be top 10 if they win the next couple of weeks, which they probably will.
Either way, I think Ohio State's respected, and if we beat them, I don't think it really means anything.
Yeah, because Oregon obviously played their butts off today. I mean, they just beat Ohio State. That doesn't happen every day, you know.
No,
I think regardless for us, man, because they got Nebraska after a bye. They have the same bye week as us. They have Nebraska at home after a bye, and then they're at our house. But the thing is, man, like if they come into Penn State and to be honest, I'd rather play a 1-loss Ohio State than an undefeated Ohio State because I feel like that would put more pressure on us just historically.
Yeah.
So if we're playing a 1-loss Ohio State and we win, which is, it's definitely not a guarantee yet, no matter what. But if we win against Ohio State now with Ohio State's 1 loss, it means the same as if they were undefeated, I think.
Hey, bud, I have 1% on my bar, even though I plugged it in, but it's still losing. So I'm going to switch over to another device. Okay.
All right. Yeah, you're good.
All right.
But yeah, Brett, I don't know, man. I think. Did you have a bet on Ohio State?
No, I didn't bet at all today. It was too tricky. Too many crazy games, man. Like, look what happened. Like, it's been nuts. Like, Tennessee almost lost to Florida. Like, wasn't on my bingo card, but at the same time, they might be a fraud. They lost to Arkansas last week, so I don't know.
The spread was 3.5 for Penn State.
No, yeah, so we didn't cover. I wouldn't have took the spread. If anything, I would have took the money line on us, but I don't bet.
Yeah, that's
for Penn State that often.
Just take our money line. I mean, I never thought they would hit the over. Never, ever.
I know, and it did. It was wild.
Never thought that.
It hit the over before overtime. It was only 3 points in overtime, so that's crazy.
I guess Matt's not coming on.
Yeah, I guess not. I had to put the kids to bed.
By the way, the Olympia, it's like the Super Bowl bodybuilding.
What is it?
The Olympia. It's like the Super Bowl.
Okay. Yeah.
Going on right now. I don't know. They might have announced the winner by now, but I don't, dude. I love bodybuilding. That's what I do. I've never competed, but this bodybuilding today, like this open bodybuilding, it looks so weird. Like they don't even look right. They don't look human. It's dumb.
Yeah.
Like Classic Physique, Chris Bumstead, who I'm an ambassador for his supplement company, like he looks. That's how you want to look. Like if you're a bodybuilder, that's how I want to look. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger. They have a Classic Physique division. For whatever reason, it doesn't get the respect that Open does. Open, those guys. Why would you ever want to look like that? Like I don't get it. Even Ronnie Coleman was somewhat aesthetic compared to these guys today, and he was like 300 pounds on stage. You know how big that is? 300 pounds with like 2% body fat.
Yeah,
that's insane.
If you think about it, that's almost Zane Durant. He's 6'1", 290, and that dude's he's a brick house.
He is, man.
That's insane.
By the way, like I noticed early on,
he was quiet today.
I noticed early on that he was like in the backfield on a play, and then he was tackling the guy down the field. Like he's so fast, dude.
Yeah,
fast.
that's awesome, but also a problem because that means the linebackers were not good. Yeah, they weren't.
But
not good today.
Brett, when we were messaging on that first drive, I said, "What was Luke Reynolds doing? He was supposed to pick that guy, and he didn't." Remember that?
I know what you're saying, but the problem is Julian Fleming. He should have acted like he was running a route, but he acted like he was blocking. If you look at it, he was like just act like you're running a route, and that we wouldn't have got called for it at all. But the fact that he was like blocking before the ball was in the air,
I don't know what he's doing.
That was the problem. Yeah,
but those are two different plays. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Are you talking about the play before, maybe, or
right before? And they tried to do that little out route twice, and it didn't work twice. Like, it was good defense by USC,
yeah.
But on that first drive, it was Reynolds and someone else. Reynolds was supposed to pick a guy, and he just ran across the field, and then the guy ran up and tackled Warren.
Okay, yeah.
Scored the first drive.
He's a true freshman. He's gonna make mistakes. He didn't cost us the game, so we can't be too mad at him. No. I do want to see him get more targets because that dude can catch too. So he can catch.
It says absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema that's what they've been doing all day. That's been my comment all day on like Penn State stuff. Absolute cinema.
Dude, you can't change. Like, there's no better form of entertainment than sports. I don't think.
People said arrest Howard immediately, because he ran the clock out. Literally, I say no pun intended. Ran the clock out. He ran.
Did they have any timeouts? Ohio State?
No, they must not have.
No, I think they had one.
But they didn't have time to use
it. Hold on. I can get back.
Why did he run it then? I mean, I really like.
Yes, they had one timeout left.
They said, "Will Howard focus on your major?" These comments are insane.
So he ran the ball in hopes of getting down to call a timeout to do what?
Yeah, I'm watching the replay right now. Ball gets snapped, looking for someone. He doesn't get a guy, starts running, and it's at 0. He slide. Nope. He's like, what? Why? Oh my God! Again, there's nothing about that is justifiable. Nothing.
Hey man, I said at the beginning of the year, I think we can beat Ohio State. Like, I really think we can.
Yeah, I mean, they're not.
And I am honest, right hand to God. I'm honestly considering dropping $1,000 to go to the game.
Is it $1,000 right now?
It's $1,000 for like good seats.
Good seats. Well, you might as well get like a $400 one.
Total, yeah. Brett, the seats where you were for UCLA are $300.
That's insane,
dude. If you're gonna drop $300,
you get an actual seat. So I mean, it's nice. I hope they give people seats and like whenever they redo some stuff. Too many benches, man. They're terrible.
If you're going to spend $300 on a ticket to be literally up where a helicopter can pick you up, spend $200 more to be on the 50. Like, unless you really want to sit up there.
If they give me a date with Jenny Dell, I'll do it. But if not, then I'm probably not going to do it. Yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
So Ohio State's going to be at noon, I think, right? Big noon kickoff will ruin that. Gus Johnson. Yeah, I better go to the game because I don't want to listen to Gus Johnson talk. That's for sure. But yeah, we're jumping the gun, really jumping the gun. But
yeah,
that's like the next step.
Wisconsin and then
we're at Wisconsin, man. Like, that is not an easy game. I don't care.
Nope,
that's not an easy game. I don't know what the spread is yet if it's out, but
dude, they beat Rutgers 41-7. That's insane. Rutgers is not a slouch.
Wait, were they home?
I don't know where the game was, but Rutgers lost last week to Nebraska 14-7. That was their first loss of the year last week. So I don't know what's going on in Rutgers in New Jersey, but I mean, it is New Jersey, so you can't really. I mean, there's plenty of questions surrounding that state, but
Wisconsin got blown out by Alabama. That's for sure, man.
Yeah, they did, but they're getting better as the year goes on. You know, Alabama also barely won today, dude. You guys see that? That was a
no. Who'd they play?
Who'd they play?
Dude, South Carolina. They barely beat South Carolina.
Yes, 27-25. You're right. Yes, I remember seeing that final.
All the games today have been absolute cinema, so that whatever they're posting is true.
What would have been great if Alabama lost today, because then they would have just been knocked out. I mean, they would have been knocked out, and like the media would have just been like, what are we going to do now? Alabama's out. Like, who are we going to talk about now? We got to talk about Georgia and half their team playing from prison.
Yeah, I mean Mark said earlier today it's literally the longest yard. Like it's the longest yard game.
Yeah, I was on the phone with Brett, and I'm like, dude, that kind of makes me mad because first of all, why are you doing that? All these people getting arrested. You're on a great team, and then it makes Georgia look bad. It makes Kirby Smart look bad. It makes college football look bad. Yeah, it's the longest yard, literally. Like their whole team was like half their team, man. How many arrests did they have this last year? Like 30 arrests.
I don't know if there were that many, but there were a lot.
I'm pretty sure it was. It was like they had literally like 30, 40 arrests. Jared, do you know?
I don't have a sinking clue.
Tonight, did you guys see Kirby Smart pushed the quarterback for Mississippi State because he was mad at the ref? He pushed him out the way. He might get fined for that, dude. I don't know.
I was like, he got tackled, dude. I was like, where did he come from?
Whatever you're mad about, dude, you don't push a quarterback on the other team. That's crazy.
The ref was right there.
Nothing
right there. He saw the whole thing.
Jared, nothing tops the Hawk Tua from the Oregon player to the Ohio State guy, though. That's crazy.
Here's your stat, okay? At least 25 people from the program have been arrested or cited for driving violations since a fatal crash in January of 2023.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
It's the longest yard, dude. It is.
Burt Reynolds' version or Adam Sandler's version?
Adam Sandler's version, definitely.
Okay.
I like the Adam Sandler one, dude. That's a good movie, man. That's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Saw it one time when it came out.
Dude, my favorite part of that whole
thing. Football movie, but it's a funny one.
Yeah,
football movies.
My favorite part of that whole movie was all the people they had in it. Like Ricky Williams, like walks up to practice one day, and they had Burt Reynolds. Obviously, they had freaking Goldberg and Steve Austin.
Yeah. I do remember them.
My favorite part was when they knocked Steve Austin out. Like he clotheslines him. And Nelly's like really good in that movie too.
Or what's the one dude? He's running on the track and he falls over. Somebody give me a Diet Coke.
Yeah, Joey Diaz.
Joey with the cheeseburgers. Yeah.
Somebody give me a Diet Coke. I'll be fine.
Somebody give me a Diet Coke.
And then the one guy, the safety, he's like smoking a cigarette like during the play, and he like breaks that guy's leg because he always interrupts him when he's watching The View.
Yep.
He's like, I love Joel Behar.
I couldn't tell you my favorite football movie. There's so many good ones, man. Like, I mean, there's just so many. Friday Night Lights. Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans is
so many.
That's my favorite movie of all time.
We Are Marshall's really good too. We Are Marshall's good. What's that one? It's called like The Express or something. That one was really good too.
Pony Express was a 30 for 30. Yeah.
Any Given Sunday.
No, what's it called? The Express. It's a football movie, dude. Let me see. 2008. Yeah, so it was Ernie Davis was the player. You guys got to watch that if you haven't seen it. It came out in 2008. It's called The Express. Really good football movie, man.
I mean,
check that out.
Not that we're going for the.
Go ahead, Jared.
I would say not we're going for like movies or anything, but it would be so cliche. Not that the controversy around it's already bad, but the whole Blind Side thing. 2009. I do remember when I was in theaters watching that with a buddy. I was saying like all those years they were talking about Sandra Bullock never got the Oscar like baited movie, and it was like when the minute I saw that I was like, there it is. Like I mean, and again, I think overall it's really well structured. I mean. Again, we're talking about like what it's about, and yes, it's all like everything's fluffed. And I mean, the fact that everyone got all up in arms, but oh my gosh, it really wasn't that way. And it's like, well, yeah, that's the point. It's a movie. I don't ever introduce that to that crowd. Like it's like Michael Orr, it's like the way that player comes in, not knowing anything about football, and it's like everyone has their strengths in the family that gives him that thing that gets him to where he wants to go. And I mean, it's really great to watch like what could be from like an underdog perspective. Like that's what it really is. I've always liked the movie. I think that would probably be my favorite football movie. And it's just, I think what we're witnessing now with Penn State, it's just like you talked about the next level. We're finally there. I honestly, I was like, finally, you won a game that you usually lose.
So you think we kind of like made that statement today because
our bread and butter, there was no bread or butter. We couldn't run the ball, and we found a way to win the game.
No run game.
That would never happen again.
Yep.
We did this with Drew Aller, Tyler Warren, Joy, the whole receiving corps, dude. I mean, the running back still helped contribute, but that game plan wasn't working. Cole Nicky, the offensive play calling, won us the game. That would have never happened in the past 10 years, man, to be honest with you. Wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's in some way that today we like actually
we turned the corner.
We showed that dominance that Jared talked about. Like we actually made like a jump as a program, as a James Franklin program. We made a jump today.
Yep.
And because let's say we lost today, right? What is the excuse going forward? This is a totally recruited James Franklin team. What's the excuse going forward? If we
that
didn't win
we always have.
And I don't care if
we always have a defense, we always have a run game. That's like the thing. We're always having those things going well. And the thing that did not go as planned, because obviously the thing that we're the weakest at was always exposed. That was the thing about that. That really opened up everything. Like we're always talking about what do we need to work on? We found it. I mean, honestly, today's game, we found it. I mean, you can't say we're going to find it every time, but boy, did we give everything we got offensively. And in the air, I was just like, finally, like that second half just blew it all open. I mean, what was it? 3 straight plays in that second touchdown drive. I saw that we went to, gosh, I want to say who was the first receiver, but whoever got the first catch, was it
Harrison Wallace
the third?
I think it was Harrison Wallace.
It was Wallace the third. He had like a 26.
Yep.
Yeah, he had like a 26-yard catch. And then the very next play, Tyler Warren got like a 21-yard. I was like, back-to-back big plays in the air. I mean, that's what I've been waiting to see from Aller. Like, and everything that we needed to see, we finally have seen. So I'm not saying it can't be exposed. It cannot be figured out by anyone else like Ohio State. But it's nice to know that we actually did show it finally. Like, that's why they're there. That's why you got Drew Aller, because he can sling the ball. Because you want to get guys like Liam Clifford, Wallace the third, like they are going to need to be a factor in this game. Because if you watched, I mean, I was watching very clearly what makes Ohio State like click or what does not work is Oregon swallowed their receivers up. So our cornerbacks have got to really be on their A game if we're going to have a chance to completely maintain and manhandle them. Like they're going to find ways because they always do. That's the thing too. We're always talking about we never beat Michigan or Ohio State. Did you see that stat today? They showed that. If we had lost today, it would have been the first time since 2022 that we lost to a team that was not Michigan or Ohio State. Yep. That's huge. So the fact that we did what we took care of today, like, that's the last real step that we need to do. We need to beat Ohio State when it matters.
And this is what I'm thinking about post-game. This is a big point here, too. Now, just think of what the coaches are thinking. They could tell the team how the running game is usually our bread and butter. Couldn't get it going today, and we threw the ball all over the field. How good could we be if we could get the running the game going again with the passing game like it was today? Put those two things together, unstoppable on offense. We could be the Ohio State or anybody that comes to our house, or we could go there and you know what I'm saying? Like if we can put both of these together, we can mix up a really good batch of something special. So, I mean, it's just moving forward, continue to work on the passing game, but then get that running game back so we can have a full, complete offense. So we don't have to rely and be one-dimensional on one or the other.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brett. I mean, our players really showed how good they are today, and that was a total player win. And they show Franklin like he's just standing there, but I mean, like I said, I've heard it from players who literally played under him. Not going to mention names, obviously, but like he doesn't really, even in practice, he doesn't really coach. He kind of leaves it to his assistants. I mean, he really is a Henry Ford of college football. He just has buttons that he hits.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
He gives his input. Yeah, he gives his input.
Like he's done a lot at Penn State. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But this is a James Franklin team, totally. This is a James Franklin staff, and they just beat USC. And this is probably the best team that Ohio. This might be one of the, but in terms of talent, probably one of the best teams ever at Penn State. And they pulled out this win, and they're going forward. They have a chance to beat Ohio State. I think they can. And like at the end of the day, we just saw. I do think this was a program turner. I mean, like Ohio State in 2016, this is like another step. And I think they're legit. But then again, we got Wisconsin, we got Ohio State, we got other teams after that. The season is not over by any means.
Yep.
So let's take advantage of the bye week, and then we're coming back for Wisconsin and Ohio State back to back.
Yep. I think Franklin. I think he coached a really good game today. Like he didn't make any big mistakes, man. Those fourth downs, he would have never gone for all those in the past. He would have punted it and relied on the defense. But he probably had a gut feeling our defense is not playing great today. We have to go for it. We have no other chance. And he trusted his players.
At the beginning,
and we did it.
At the beginning, he fought for that tight timeout.
Yeah, he got it.
And there's a couple things about that. First of all, it's 3rd and 1, which means he was confident that we would get that 3rd and 1. Because we had the first down and we could have just gone. And another thing too is
that was a trick play too.
I think we needed that timeout later on, right?
It was the first half, so
we used 2 timeouts in the first quarter, I think. But at the end of the day, man, like that timeout situation just kind of really, I thought that was very interesting because he knew we needed the timeout, so he fought for it, even though it would have been 1st and 10.
So I think what happened too,
we didn't score anyway, but it had nothing to do with that. So
from what I got, I could be wrong. On the field, I think they called it short, but the stick showed it was 1st down. So I think Franklin thought they got the 1st down and was confused, like, well, why is it saying 1st down if you're saying it was short? That's why he called the timeout, I think, to like figure out what the heck was going on. So that's why they gave him the timeout back, because they screwed up on the field.
I think he thought he had a 3rd down package in. They showed 1st down. So he called a timeout to change it. But like, I don't know exactly what happened. If they just showed 1st down, why didn't? Because here's the thing: if it shows 1st down, they just snap the ball real quick. If they don't have the right personnel in there, that's a wasted play.
Exactly.
It could be a totally wasted play. So
it was a good timeout. Yeah.
You could get away with robbery there, but
But the commentating was horrible. The refs were horrible. I don't know, man. It was rough.
Yeah. My cousin was saying, like, towards the end of the game, they said, this is the first time Penn State's had to lead the whole game. It's like, no, we had it for a whole half quarter.
Yeah.
We were up 3-0.
Nope.
So I don't know. But Brad Nessler, man, like, he's a legend. So is freaking that's Greasy, right? Greasy.
Gary Nicholson.
Gary Nicholson. Really?
Or it was Greg Nicholson. It's one of the two.
Okay.
Today?
I thought it was Greasy. No?
Well, that wasn't. Let me see.
Yeah, it's I think it's Bob Greasy, right? I don't know. At least Bob Greasy used to call.
Isn't it Brian?
Moral of the story: they're both really old. Like they might be legends, but like get them out of there, dude. Seriously, we need people who know what football looks like now. They weren't even talking about football the majority of the game. They didn't know what was going on. It was bad. Wasn't good, man. I don't know.
I don't know what it is, man. They seem to hate the Big Ten first because their deal that CBS took for college football is horrendous. Like, they literally are lucky if they get a good game because of this TV contract. Like, they got totally screwed in this contract. And one, I don't think they're happy about that. And two, they're not calling the SEC anymore. But CBS was spoiled for years because they just thought like, oh, we're CBS, we're the SEC. We get those primetime games every single week. Now they're lucky if they're not calling Northwestern Rutgers with the CBS college football intro. And it's like, you could put that over like an episode of Teletubbies and it would fit better than like some of these games, you know? Like the CBS football intro is so intense and it's like Northwestern Rutgers. It's like, oh, wow, this is whew.
This is
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get over
doozy. It. Yeah, it's a doozy.
Isn't that Hey Arlen in the background? No.
Nope. Okay, so yeah, it's Gary Danielson. Yeah, and
Gary. I got Gary right. I knew it was Gary.
You did.
See?
It was Bob Greasy back in the day, I think, with Keith Jackson. And I remember in '97, Bob Greasy's son was playing for Michigan against Penn State. And Mike McQueary's dad and him were talking all week because their sons were the starting quarterbacks, you know. And Charles Woodson had like 7 touchdowns. He had like a receiving touchdown, a defensive touchdown, a running touchdown.
Tyler Warren.
He kicked a field goal.
Tyler Warren. You just named Tyler Warren's
Gary Daniels,
long lost brother.
Thanks, Jim Himes.
Thank you.
But yeah.
It's close.
Yeah, and then good old what's her name? Jenny Dell.
Jenny Dell. Yeah, it's absolute. Yeah.
I remember I saw her for the first time. I think it was Auburn when we played at Auburn away, and I was like, "Holy moly, who's that?"
Yeah,
I followed her on Instagram.
I commented on her picture the other day. I said Jenny on the block, and she said, "Don't be fooled." I was like, "I don't know what she's talking about," but I was like, "I'm just glad she responded to me." And so
She responded to you.
Yeah, I said Jenny on the block, and she responded, "Don't be fooled!" Exclamation points.
Yeah.
What's
that in reference to, Jenny on the block?
I don't know. It's something I've heard in the past.
It's a song, isn't it? Jenny from the block.
I think it's a song. Yeah. It basically means you're awesome. I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. You're it.
You guys have anything else you want to touch on? Players
in
the game.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. For the United States, Tyler Warren. Yeah, I mean, it's
right.
A freaking alien, dude. You know what he did today? He literally almost doubled his yards from the last 5 games. He had 270 yards coming into this game. He had 240 something today. That's unreal, man.
I mean,
unreal.
He's probably going to have the most receiving yards by a tight end ever by the end of this season.
If he keeps it up, yeah. I mean, if he stays healthy, I mean, he's going to need to. Hopefully, he gets a rest for 2 weeks because he's going to be feeling that tomorrow.
For me, I think it should be Drew Aller, but
both of them. I mean, if we could give them both the game balls.
It's like 1A and 1B.
The Penn State Instagram page will probably give them both a game ball on offense. And then defense, I don't know who you can put up there. I mean, it's Jalen Reed for the interception, maybe. He made some good tackles, too. I would give Jalen Reed defensive ball of the game. Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
By the way, the reason I didn't really know who the announcers were is because, like, when I watch games, man, sometimes I don't even have the commentators on. I just have it muted.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm usually doing something like where I was working on my podcast all day, so.
Unless it's Kirk. I like Kirk and Chris Fowler. I know you don't like Kirk. Chris Fowler's great. I think he's good.
Yeah, Chris Fowler.
He's one of the better ones.
Big college guy. I hate Kirk Herbstreit.
A legend. I don't know why you hate him.
Dude, first of all, don't get me started. We don't have like an hour for me to rant. But
he's always
I
been fair with Penn State. But yeah, Chris Fowler for the win. I think he gets the best one.
Two people that I cannot stand as commentators: Kirk Herbstreit. I mean, he's number one easily. Jim Nantz, can't stand him. I can't stand him. And Gus Johnson, he's getting up there for sure because he's so biased.
He's been pretty terrible, yeah. The big Zamboni.
You know what's crazy about crazy about like a guy like Gus Johnson is I think once they have them under contract, even though it's obvious he's biased against Penn State, especially when they play Ohio State, I don't think they can really do anything. You know, like they can't say, "Yo, like why are you so biased?" Calling Marvin Harrison that stupid nickname and like literally pissing off half the people that are watching. Maserati Marv, like his name is Marvin Harrison, dude. Isn't that good enough? I mean, his dad's a Hall of Famer. And he looks just like his dad too, you know, like that's good enough right there. Like Marvin Harrison. That's all you need to say. It's like Peyton Manning Jr. giving him a nickname. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, guys. I mean,
no.
Going for an hour here.
It was great. Great win, great victory. And again, the most important thing is, again, James Franklin now has that first step. Personally, I think this is all about James Franklin and his steps. It's like we talk about Penn State need to go to the next level. It's like I think James Franklin really has been trying to get to the next level of his coaching because that's what we've all been waiting for. We've been waiting for this thing where you actually had to go up against a good coach. Lincoln Riley is a very, very good coach. He's one of the best in college, and you beat him. Like you didn't necessarily yourself beat him, but you were the coach of the winning team. So that is an important thing to see. So if I see you, James Franklin, at Ohio State at home, whatever Ohio State does, if I actually see what you're doing on the sidelines for this team and it responds like Ohio State would, then I will say, without a shadow of a doubt, that Penn State could win a national championship.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
James Franklin hired offensive coordinator. He made that call, and that's the hire of the year. I mean, he killed it. Got to give it to him. Yeah, the guy.
They're executing like everything pretty well. I mean, Aller had some dumb throws like that in one interception. I mean, I don't know what he was. I don't know what he was looking at, what he thought, but that was clearly like the guy was right in front of the receiver.
Yeah, well, he pulled back a little bit. It was like a drop coverage. So I think when he threw it, that guy wasn't that far up, and then he moved up, and you know what I'm saying? He moved back and dropped. So the guy made a good play. It wasn't a great – he shouldn't have passed it. But when you're throwing it 40 sometimes, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's bound to happen sometimes. But, hey, we digress, and we forgive him because he's a beast.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, there's nothing else. We can hop off. And we'll see you guys later this week. Jared, I don't really want to talk about the Steelers right now. That really pissed me off, but we are playing his team tomorrow. And to be honest, I don't really care about the NFL. I watch Red Zone, and that's about it. So
fair enough.
Like I know we advertise, we talk to Steelers and stuff. Yeah, maybe we could talk about them after they win tomorrow if they do. What time do they play?
4:30. Yeah, they're the 4:25 game.
Yeah.
But
I like college football so much better, man. I do.
So much better.
I do. I totally understand it, dude. But like, I'll throw this out there where it's like, as far as the Steelers are concerned, they have some injuries that are going to really hurt them. I mean, Highsmith is still hurt. Nick Herbig, if you don't hear about this, he is out for at least 8 weeks. That's going to kill them with a lot of momentum. Like, they have to bring in some guys. Like, it's going to be a bunch of backups. So, like, it's not going to be easy. I mean, if we find a way to look competent tomorrow, which, again, I know that this is Brett's team, and I know that they're going to have Aiden O'Connell start this game tomorrow for you. I know he knows this, and look at him shake his head like he already knows. Aiden O'Connell, do you know who that is, Mark?
Yeah.
Can you tell me who Aiden O'Connell? Okay, so I'm saying a lot of people said, I don't know who the dude is. And it's like the fact that we have to prep for him. It's like, so defensively, they should have a good game. But as we've seen from the last couple of weeks, I mean, the last play of that game will be in my head forever against the Cowboys with
they're just
4th and goal. It's just everything that the Steelers for, they did not show up. So, I mean, again, I will always love my Steelers, but they're kind of going through an identity crisis right now. They're always known for defense, always known for it.
They've been going through like the last time we were relevant, it was Bill Cowher's players, and Mike Tomlin is horrible. And they had all you need is for an example, Najee Harris is our starting running back.
Yeah,
that's all you need. That's all you need is an example. Drop the mic. That's all you got to say. They're terrible. Like they're not.
Now Jaylen Warren is off of the injury list. Jaylen Warren is off the injury list, and Roman Wilson is going to be making his debut. They made this abundantly clear. They're finally putting that wide receiver in, which I've been waiting for about 4 weeks now. So they have names that are going to be in this game tomorrow, and maybe for all we know, it's going to unlock a lot of things. Maybe it'll distract us long enough that we get into our bye, we can get a little healthier. I mean, it's tough. I mean, we're in a situation now where we were riding high, 3-0. 2 weeks later, we get a bunch of injuries. We lose really tough games because we should not have lost those games against the Colts and the Cowboys. But that's Tomlin, dude. I mean, it's coaching. Like the whole system right now with our theme tonight is coaching. We actually had a coach show up and do what he needed to do, which was not get in the way, which was not make bad choices. And I feel like I've been watching this with the Steelers for the last couple of weeks, and it's like, just get out of your own way. Like, just let these guys coordinate and make the executions that they need to, and it'll be much, much better. I mean, so, yeah, the Steelers, I understand why we put as much of it in as we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. My anger is used up for the day, so I'm not going to talk anymore about them. Brett, I mean, we're pretty much both our teams are bad. So, I mean, you know, it's the battle of nothing.
College football. Yep.
Yeah.
6-0, baby. Let's go. End of the bye week. It's bye week.
That's
yes,
right.
sir.
All right. See you guys. Thanks for coming on.
See you guys.
Take care, guys.
Absolute cinema.
That's right.